Hi, T.O.T. Carlson here. Today we're going to take a trip back in time to 1920, looking at one of the very first horror movies ever made, which was given a 4K release courtesy of Kino Lorber. The movie I'm talking about today is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I'm going to unbox this release and share my opinions. This is the first American release of Dr. Caligari on 4K, although there actually was a previous UK release as part of the Eureka Masters of Cinema series. I did an unboxing for that a few months ago on this channel. I'll include a link to that up above if you want to check that out. I will be discussing that release a little in this review, but primarily I'm going to focus on Kino's release here for this video. There's our cover art, of course, featuring the somnambulist from the film in a very haunting moment. Sides of the spine text, back cover. Inside the slipcover, we actually have reversible art. This right here promotes the Beale score of the film. Inside the case, we have an ad, and an ad here for the Kino film collection. Inside the case, we have our 4K Ultra High Def disc, and we have the film on a Blu-ray disc as well, which also features the bulk of the bonus features. In 1920, one brilliant movie jolted the post-war masses and catapulted the German expressionist film movement into history. That movie was The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, a plunge into the mind of insanity that severs all ties with the rational world. Director Robert Wien and a team of visionary designers created a nightmare realm in which light, shadow, and substance are abstract. A world in which a demented doctor and a carnival sleepwalker perpetrate a series of ghastly murders in a small community. This authoritative edition presents the F.W. Murnau meticulous 4K restoration of the film with a new orchestral score by five-time Emmy-winning composer Jeff Beale, which had its premiere performance at Carnegie Hall on June 3rd, 2024. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is certainly one of the most influential and famous films of all time. Harkening back to the silent era, this one is an unadulterated classic that certainly stands the test of time. The movie, of course, revolves around a traveling carnival man, Dr. Caligari, who has a sleepwalker who can supposedly tell the future. Two men who pine for the same woman go to attend the carnival, one of whom learns that, according to the somnambulist, he's going to die that day. Needless to say, what unfolds after that is pretty intense. The film is certainly well cast and well played out, but the real attraction here, of course, is the set designs. The movie has these just bizarre angular sets in this surreal world, and at the end of the movie, when you experience the twist ending and what might possibly be considered cinema's first unreliable narrator, you're going to be even more shocked. And of course, there are a lot of potential interpretations of this film. I don't believe there really is any right or wrong one, but either way, even though it only runs about 80 minutes, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari will certainly stick with you long after you're done watching it. This has certainly remained a favorite of mine over the years. I'm very happy to see that Kino Lorber saw fit to release The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari in 4K at long last. This release does not include HDR, but it is sourced from the best and most recent remaster of the film, which was a 4K master that was struck around 2014. I believe that was also used as the basis for Kino's previous Blu-ray release of the film as well. And overall, this is an excellent looking transfer of this film. Now, unfortunately, the first act of the film was sourced from later prints that weren't in as good of shape because those are all that were available. But once you get past Act 1, everything looks very good. Obviously, you have to keep your expectations in check since it's a silent film and they weren't always preserved the best. But this is how to restore a film from the silent era right, and this is easily, some of the best elements that possibly could have been worked with here. I don't know that we'll ever see The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari looking any better than this, but I am happy to say that it is a good-looking release overall, and I don't think fans will be disappointed. Sadly, the release from Kino is a little light on the supplement package. We do get a commentary track with composer Jeff Beale, but it mostly talks about his musical score and how and why he wrote it. There's also some additional music tracks on here. I believe there's 3 different scores you can watch the film with. There's a demonstration on the restoration of the film. And then the big bonus feature here, of course, is a 52-minute or so featurette on the history of Germany and the Weimar Republic around the time of World War I and how that in some ways led to the German expressionist film movement. And there's even a lot of bizarre theories about how it may have forecasted the coming of Hitler and Nazism. So it's certainly an interesting watch. However, we did actually get a UK 4K of The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari quite some time ago from Masters of Cinema. Again, I did do a review for this on my channel before, and I did include a link to that earlier in the video. And this actually, while this version did not include a Blu-ray copy, it did include a pretty nice thick booklet. And it also has 2 additional featurettes that are not included in the American release. Plus, it even has 2 additional commentary tracks, neither one of which is the same one that's on the American release. I'm not really sure which musical scores these releases have in common, but they're both struck from the same master, so the transfers are almost identical, if not exactly identical. And again, neither release has HDR, but that's certainly not a deal killer because they look good. This is certainly the superior release. Unfortunately, it's out of print and very hard to get for a decent price now. But Kino's release, despite the relative lack of bonus features, is still a good release overall. In either event, if you're a film fan, you should absolutely own The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari in 4K. And I'm glad Kino at least gave it an affordable 4K release in America with a great transfer. So I can easily recommend this release. Again, the older Masters of Cinema release in the UK is superior. Get that one if you can for a fair price, but if not, Kino's version is certainly a decent enough alternative. How about you? What do you think of The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari? Is this one of your favorite films of all time? Do you think it's one of the most influential? What are your thoughts on this one? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give us a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.